What's up, Acolyte Squad? My name is Prince and I'm an urban acolyte. This video, I want to go through this article over on screenrant.com about the Mandalorian 10 Force users who could answer the call of Grogu, because that's what everybody's interested in ever since that abduction of Grogu that happened in the last episode of The Mandalorian. Just real quick, I want to remind you guys that my friend Ying Tan is doing her Dirty 30 thing, so make sure you're following her over on Instagram at Qigong Tigress. Lots of all kinds of cool stuff she's doing. White Tiger Qigong that is actually taught here in Thailand, up in Chiang Mai. I considered going up there to get certified, but I decided I don't really want to teach health and medical Qigong. So she's got her Qigong online stuff. You can see the website, Qigong Tigress at u.uscreen.io. I thought it was just qigongtigress.com. So I don't know, maybe I'm getting another address, but she's got monthly lessons. These are some free lessons, a free follow along series that you can check out to get started. So you can see what Ying is doing. You can try it out. She's got like different variations of the exercises. I don't know why this isn't playing, but I'll let you take a look at this. I don't even know what I clicked on. This Tiger Qigong set that she's doing. And there's like different levels to this, right? Yeah, I remember this one. This is actually pretty hard. If you, well, you got to hold that horse stance. And since we're talking about following people on Instagram, if you guys, nobody's been checking in with this 200 swings a day kettlebell challenge. So make sure you're following me at Urban Acolyte. And if you say, Prince, I've been following you, and you're like following the account that's got all the Star Wars stuff on it, I actually don't post to that account. I don't even check it. If you're seeing new posts there, it's because I'm posting them to Facebook and they're getting copied onto that account, right? But this account is where I'm going to be active on Instagram. It's an old account that I've kind of revamped. It's got all kinds of all that real life Jedi stuff where I talk about fitness training, martial arts, meditation. Look, all of this stuff you're seeing, like me in my garage from 2018, right? So some of this is 2 years old, right? So plenty of stuff that you can look at as far as the Qigong that I do, which is more focused on martial arts training. All right, but anyway, let's hop into this this article. So we saw Grogu go to the Seeing Rock there on Tython. He sent out the message, and now they've got 10 possible Force users who could answer the call. Now, number 10, they have Supreme Leader Snoke. Now, I'm going to say no to this one because I don't think Snoke is in the picture yet. We are 5 years post Return of the Jedi, 4 years into the First Order, right? I feel like I'm not trying to brag or anything, but a lot of times I feel like the people who write this stuff, it's like I feel like I know more about Star Wars in many cases than they do. Because I mean, look, I'm not spitting out articles. I'm not writing articles for clicks and to get paid and this and that. Yes, I know I kind of do the same thing on YouTube, but I've kind of taken the attitude that like, I'm just going to do YouTube for fun. I don't have any inside sources. I just give my opinion on things. If some people don't like my opinion, if you get, like the Mace Windu thing, is people that are upset that I was like, yo, look, I don't think Mace Windu's coming back. He's dead. End of story. Right. And I've seen people in the comments from the last video really upset about my take on Mace Windu. And I'm like, look, man, you chose to watch me. I'm just saying what I think. Just like I was like, I don't really want to see Luke Skywalker. Now, if they do it and they give us a Luke Skywalker and it's more than just a cameo, I'm not going to be upset. It's not going to make the Mandalorian series. It's not going to break it for me. It's just, I'm saying, look, just the facts. These are the facts based on what I know, what I've read, and what makes sense to me based on, this is what I can speculate on based on what I know. And I leave it at that. If it happens, hey man, it's a pleasant surprise. Look at it this way, because I'm serious, man. Some of y'all really take this stuff too far. And at least that's just the way I interpret it from the comments. And I'm like, what if one day, the example I really want to give, I cannot say it all. But let's say one day you're just doing your regular thing, right? You have no expectations. It's a regular, ordinary day, whatever you do. Maybe you're independently wealthy and you can sit around, maybe you trade stocks and you're doing like the legit Forex thing and you're making your money doing Forex and day trading and all of that. But somebody gives you a free pizza and you like pizza a lot and it's your favorite pizza and you're like, whoa, this is a gift, right? I was totally not expecting this. They gave me my favorite pizza for free. They just showed up. Hey man, here's a free pizza. I know this is something you like, but if that doesn't happen, hey man, it's just your ordinary day. You weren't expecting a pizza anyway, so you don't get a free pizza, right? Or maybe you get a free pizza, but it's not exactly your favorite kind, but it's the thought that counts. They made the gesture, right? And it's like, well, you know what? I'm hungry. I might as well eat. I do like pizza, right? And, I know somebody's going to get upset that I even said pizza because that's the type of society that that the Western world is in. It ain't quite like that over here where I'm at, right? But in Western society, for some reason, people find a reason to get offended and be upset about anything, right? So if you're one of those people and you're like, well, I don't even like pizza. Well, I don't want pizza. Well, if it was a free pizza, I wouldn't take the motherfucker anyway. Hey man, go fuck yourself. Stop watching me, right? Seriously. Just whenever you see my videos in your homepage, just click not interested. Don't come back here. And, because I don't need that kind of energy around me, dog. Right. But Supreme Leader Snoke, I'm saying no. I don't think he's around. And then also, could Grogu's call lead the Imperial remnant to become the eventual First Order? Right. This stood out to me because they don't even know that Snoke didn't start the First Order. Right. Snoke showed up because the First Order was already there. Right. And it's like, yo, this isn't part of Palpatine's contingency plan. The First Order was not part of Palpatine's plan. The First Order was started by Grand Admiral Ray Sloan. So I'm saying no to this because just whoever wrote this doesn't know how the First Order started. Right now, they say Anakin Skywalker, could a Force Ghost show up and answer the call because of Anakin, his interesting history and whatnot. I'm gonna say no to that. How can Anakin train Grogu, right? If Grogu, I'll just put it like this. If Grogu was to interact with a Force Ghost, then he's got to stay with Din Djarin, right? Because somebody's got to take care of him. He's still a baby. He might be 50 years old. He's still an infant, right? A toddler, right? He's toddling around. He can't even really talk yet. So he needs somebody to look after him until he's big enough, big enough to put on his big boy pants, right? Or tunic, right? Because Yoda wore a tunic, right? Quinlan Voss. Now I'm a big fan of this one. I think Quinlan Voss would be a perfect dude who could probably show up and find some kind of way to, Din Djarin doesn't have a ship anymore. So if Quinlan Voss has been out in the Outer Rim somewhere acting as a bounty hunter as well, right? He could be a member of the Bounty Hunters Guild as well, and could have already crossed paths with our Mando, with our bounty hunter. And then, this whole time I've been a Jedi in hiding, and I want to help you with the kid, but I don't want to separate you guys, because he understands the whole attachment thing. I don't know if it's canon, but in Legends he kind of had an attachment with Ayla Secura. For some reason, just where my mind goes, it might have been an inappropriate thing going on between them. But I think in canon, it just might have been they had like some kind of bond through the Force. And Then he had an attachment to his master as well. He had an obvious attachment to Asajj Ventress. I won't even, you can go back 2 or 3 videos ago where I kind of talk about how attached they were, right? You could say they were connected at the hip. If you take those hips and turn them this way, they were very attached in various positions. So he understands having attachments that the Jedi Order kind of forbid, right? He was at the point where he was ready to leave the Jedi Order and go off and make some Force babies with Asajj Ventress. He's like, yo man, why don't we see if we can hook up and make our own chosen one, right? We make a new prophecy. All right, but that didn't happen, and Asajj Ventress sacrificed herself to save her lover, Quinlan Voss, and we don't know where he is, what he's doing, how he's doing, if he survived, nothing. So I'm a big fan of that one. Ezra Bridger, they even kind of said no. Episode 13, Ahsoka's live action debut. For people who know the Filoni verse, we know that this is kind of probably setting up a spin-off show or a spin-off story arc. I won't say a spin-off show, but a spin-off story arc that is going to run parallel with whatever story is being told in The Mandalorian. That's if The Mandalorian occurs in the gap before the epilogue of Star Wars Rebels, right, where Sabine and Ahsoka take off to find Ezra. But given the fact that we believe that this all is happening before that epilogue, based on Dave Filoni's comments, I don't think Ezra's going to be answering the call from the Seeing Stone. It could come later, right? I'm gonna get to that when I get through this list. Now, Barriss Offee is an interesting one. We have no idea where she is. I thought she would have become an Imperial Inquisitor. That's what made the most sense to me. But maybe somehow she escaped. In Legends, I think after she's arrested, then the Jedi let her go to continue fighting in the Clone Wars, because they're so starved for experienced leaders to lead the clone troopers against the Separatists that they're like, all right, well, we're going to give you a pardon and just don't do anything else. We need you get back out there on the battlefield. And I don't remember if in Legends she dies in Order 66 or not. I don't feel like looking it up on Wikipedia. It's really not important. The fact is, we don't know the status of Barriss Offee, and it would be an interesting way to redeem her, I guess, if she's like, look, I struggled with the Jedi Order and I felt like they were going to the dark side, and for a while maybe I felt the pull too. I mean, what if it's the case that Barriss Offee is the person responsible for Grogu surviving Order 66 and the Purge? That would be an interesting way to go, right? And then not my whole thinking Sasha Banks' character could have had some connection to Barriss Offee. It would have been kind of funny if it oh yeah, well, I was completely off on that speculation, but I was just looking at her hood, the hood of her robe. I'm like, that looks like, the same robe that Barriss Offee had. And I know people, man, Prince is just a robe. I don't think that anything that you see I feel like everything that you see, especially in some of these trailers and stuff that you're seeing in The Mandalorian, they do stuff for a reason, right? I'm big on storytellers who do this thing where they subvert your expectations, meaning you're expecting one thing and then when you get it, it's like, that's not what I was expecting at all. And in the case of Sasha Banks, it's I think that they made her kind of look that way for a reason. So we would look and say, oh, is that Barriss? Is that Barriss Offee? Is that a Jedi? Right. And in the bigger story, yes, it is that episode. She turns out to be a Mandalorian who is a night owl who's connected to Bo-Katan, and Bo-Katan directs Din Djarin to literally a Jedi, right? That's how it ended up working out. So yes, there was a Jedi connection, but why have her look like a Miri Allen, right? The way Miri Allens are shown to wear their hoods or their robes, the hood of their robe. That's what I was trying to say. Now, I'm not saying Barrisoffy's going to show up just because of that, but I think that misdirect was there for a reason, and it would be really awesome if it comes all the way back around, or maybe Barrisoffy does come into the story some way, shape, or form. Would be cool. So that's kind of something that I'm going to be looking out for. But like I said earlier, it's not going to make or break the show for me, right? It's just like that pizza. If it comes through, great. If it doesn't come through, great, right? This is why, like, back during The Last Jedi, I kept telling y'all, like, you know, they were like, oh, Dash doesn't like it. Your boy Geekdom doesn't like it. Oh, but Prince would say anybody who doesn't like The Last Jedi should meditate. Yes, meditation's not going to make you like or not like the movie, right? My friend who's also a more experienced meditator when it comes to Vipassana than me, and he's my senior kung fu brother. If things had happened differently, he would be my teacher. I'd be a student instead of us being, you know, homeboys and bros, right? He hated the whole sequel trilogy, right? In every talking point that I've seen some people say, oh man, they're pushing this feminist, womanist agenda and all of it. Like, he voices that stuff too, not in the same way, because he's not attached to it. It's just like, this is what I think about it, but in the big picture of things, it's not that important. You know, I've got, you know, my family, my wife, my kids. I got Kung Fu. I've got my Kung Fu students. I got my business, my fitness business, my personal thing. I've got all these other things. And on Maslow's hierarchy of needs, Star Wars and my feelings about the sequel saga do not register, right? It's just entertainment, and that's it. And when it comes down to it, if there's other things that I can go do that I actually enjoy, and you know, and I'll just, you know, have that nostalgic feeling of how I felt as a young man growing up, watching Luke Skywalker in the original trilogy. But when I want to feel that Jedi feeling, I just go train Eli Chin. I'm trying to drop y'all some hints. Now, Obi-Wan Kenobi, now the only way Obi-Wan is showing up again is as a Force ghost. That goes back to the Anakin thing, right? A Force ghost could hear the call. They probably do hear the call. I would love to see a Force ghost Force ghost cameo from older Ewan McGregor. It would kind of give us a little bit of a tongue taster of what we'll see in the Obi-Wan series, which is going to be beginning filming in Boston in January. And like a lot of people have been reporting, it's not Boston in Massachusetts. It's a city called Boston that's 100 miles north of London, right? Which means they're going to be filming. I'm not sure what they're going to be filming there, but you know, Pinewood Studios is not far away, so I'm wondering if maybe they're filming some scenes up there, but then they'll be moving down to Pinewood Studios to complete the whatever. I don't know. But you know what? You know who would know? Me and my inside contacts at Pinewood Studios, right? You can go watch Mike Zero. I'm sure he's making 5 videos about conflicting information regarding the Obi-Wan series based on his inside contacts at Pinewood Studios that he doesn't have, but all the Mike Zero fans seem to believe he has. So I'll let you guys keep living the dream, because cognitive dissonance is real, creative self-conscious is real, and you know, I'm not going to tell you that the guy is lying, because what's the point? Your creative self-conscious will just make up a story to make yourself believe the fantasies, right? Just like he is. Well, he doesn't have to. You know, when you make 5 videos a day for several years and you start getting like 70, 80, yeah, he might be up to 120,000 views a day, right? That's good money, right? That's good money. So, you know, y'all believe the lies and truth, whether he's telling the truth or lying, it all looks the same in his bank account at the end of the day. So, like I said, with most of these Star Wars clowns, must be the money, must be the money, show change me, must be the money, must be the money, diamond rings. Ooh, y'all gonna make me do the Dion dance in a minute. It's prime time. All right, so Cal Kesters, I don't believe Cal Kesters will answer the call because, well, we got Jedi Fallen Order, the video game, and apparently EA is like, yo, we're going to start putting out more Star Wars games because if they don't, they're going to lose the contract. Right now, I'm not a gamer person. I don't know much about the gaming industry. So, you know, don't quote me on this because I ain't said shit. I'm sorry. I was talking to my wife about Eazy-E earlier and now I just like got Eazy-E on my mind. But so I don't know how the relationship between Lucasfilm and EA Games actually is, but from what I understand, like, I think they had like 2 years left on the contract. And if they don't make games that people like, of course, people love Jedi Fallen Order. And then, Alex seems to love, Squadrons. I've not even looked at it. I don't have any intentions on playing it. And to the dude that's been in my comments on my gaming channel trying to convince me to play it, hey, bruh, like, Jedi mind tricks don't work on me, man. They only work on the simple-minded. If I say I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to do it. If I change my mind, then I change my mind. But I didn't even finish Fallen Order past Kashyyyk. Did I? Maybe I did finish. I don't know. I don't think I finished Kashyyyk. I haven't. I've never finished Kashyyyk. I think I got pretty far into it, but I don't think I ever finished that planet. Or if I did, I don't even remember. Yeah, I'm going to say I didn't. So, you know what? I think I did finish. I do remember finishing Kashyyyk. If the kind of boss fight I'm thinking of, if that's at the end of Kashyyyk. But I reset the game, so it doesn't matter. I'm on Kashyyyk the last time I played it, so you know, but where I was going with that was like they're making a Fallen Order 2 from what I hear, or there's plans to. So if they blow their load now, then it's like, I mean, people are probably still going to play Fallen Order 2, especially if they like improve it over the last one. But I don't know how they could improve it other than, you know, keep the lightsaber combat, but make it more like, up the level, up the ante on his force powers. And I don't really think that they want to do that because they don't want to turn it into the Force Unleashed where he's ripping Star Destroyers out of the sky. But, if Cal Kestis were to answer the call, that would kind of blow the load on, because it's like, all right, well, there's this Fallen Order 2 game coming out, and whatever the story is, we know that it's like it would kind of blow the story. And I remember Filoni a few years back kind of saying like, we don't want these characters to show up in different stuff, or we don't want to start to like step on the toes of the movies or other characters that could appear other places, because then it kind of like, it boxes in the creators that are working on those other projects, is basically what it is. So, but I would love to see if they figure out a way, like maybe Force Unleashed comes out next year and whoever answers the call doesn't come until season 4. Like, yo, we put out this call to a Jedi on the Seeing Stone, and now we've got to wait and see what happens, right? I would be cool with that. Then it would make us more invested in Cal's story and where that character goes, and then it start to, really make us ask some questions. If Luke is the last Jedi, like what's Cal Kestis been up to this whole time? That Luke is, saving the rebellion, and he's the Jedi in the rebellion, and he's on the Death Star, and Yoda's talking about, you're the last one. After I'm gone, you're the last one. But there's another Skywalker. And then Luke again saying, I am the last Jedi. Like, where are all these other people? So, you've always got an out. There's unexplored space. There's wild space. There's the unknown regions. There's conflicts going on there. We got the Chiss and the Grisk. We know maybe Ezra Bridger was out dealing with that stuff. There's no mention of Thrawn or the Grisk or the Chiss ascendancy or anything during Rey and Finn and Poe Dameron's story. Leia doesn't turn to the Chiss and ask them for help with the Resistance. Maybe Leia doesn't even know about the Chiss ascendancy, right? Maybe Luke doesn't know about the Chiss ascendancy. He never traveled that far into the unknown regions. Now, Yoda, if we're going to see a Force Ghost, like this says, no Force Ghost makes more sense to speak to Grogu from beyond than Jedi Master Yoda. Yoda would be the easiest person to put into this. And if I were going to say I expect, and expect is a strong word because I don't expect, but if I were to expect any of like the legacy characters, it would be Yoda. If you told me that there's a legacy character that's going to interact with Grogu immediately after this Seeing Stone event in the tragedy, I would think it would be Yoda, right? And then on top of that, Din Djarin would, even though he probably wouldn't see a Force Ghost unless he's got the Force too. And I've seen a theory about that. I think earlier today when we were on our way to Bangkok, I think I came across a theory that Din Djarin is going to find out he's Force sensitive. And maybe somebody put that in my comments. I don't know, but I don't know, because I keep thinking that because wherever I read it, they were also playing up on what I pointed out in my review, where I was like, it's kind of funny, like Din Djarin is looking at baby Grogu, BGZ, and he's like, you're too powerful for me to train you. I got to find you a teacher. I got to give you to the Jedi. I'm going to put you where you belong. And it's like, he's already where he belongs. He belongs with you, and you want him to be a Jedi so bad. Why can't you train him? Right? You don't really need the Force to teach him to use the Force. You just need to be there to help guide him, right? Go find some Jedi temples and some Jedi relics and, traverse the galaxy doing the bounty hunting thing to make your money. And the same way Karnuk Sin went and traced down the origins of the Jedi using his, what is that little Force? I touch stuff and I see the history. I can't even remember the name of the power now. Quinlan Voss had it. I thought Rey had it. Karnuk Sin has it, where he can touch something and see the history. His is more power because Quinlan Voss will see like the history and connect with emotions. But this kid, he touches it. He sees like the entire history. Apparently he found like C-3PO's like arm or something. It was a piece of C-3PO that he found, and he touched it and he saw like the entire history of Anakin, Luke Skywalker up to that point, just everything, right? It was like, oh, I just basically downloaded episodes 1 through 6, right? And this was like about a year before The Force Awakens. So if you haven't read Force Collector, he ends up finding out that his grandfather left the Jedi Order and started a family, and then went into hiding during the Purge when an Inquisitor came looking for him. So his grandfather literally was a Jedi, and his grandfather managed to like live this incredibly long amount of time using the Force to kind of sustain him, because he was like worried that he would be found and his family wouldn't be safe or something, and he was going to try to protect them. And then Karnuk Sin finds his grandfather out on some isolated planet, like living by himself pretty much in a swamp. Well, not a swamp, but a marsh. And it was like, yo, you're my grandfather and I've got the Force. And then it was something really disturbing because his grandfather was like, yes, you do have the Force, but you don't have the Force to be a Jedi, to be a Jedi Knight. And I'm like, what the hell? Right? Like it's like, you don't have the Force to be a Jedi. You just got this, you can go be he's basically gonna, if Rey or whoever starts a new Jedi Order, he's gonna be looking for Rey, because he's like, when everything is over, I need to look for Skywalker. And he's like thinking Luke, but by the time everything's over and the First Order's gone, there's no Luke Skywalker, there's no Leia, Organa, Solo, Skywalker, Solo, whatever. There's Rey Skywalker, and people get upset, and I'm like, yeah, there's a reason that Rey had to take the name Skywalker. And if you read The Force Collector, it came out before The Rise of Skywalker, you would have already known. It's funny, like I had just gotten here, so I didn't have time to read the book. I was not going to read the book. I was more interested in reading Nisa than Star Wars books. Just being real, right? But that book kind of let you know what was coming for The Rise of Skywalker. Just like before The Last Jedi came out, The Legends of Luke Skywalker kind of let you know what was up with Luke and where the character was gonna go. It was like, and I started reading it, but there were the really important stories I didn't read until like 7 or 8 months later. And then when I read it, I was like, oh man, why didn't I read this book before I went and saw the movie? I mean, y'all said I pretty much predicted The Last Jedi. If I read that book, I would have after seeing the movie, I would have had a lot more to say regarding Luke. I would have made more videos, and that kind of started a downward spiral of my channel, because I just kind of didn't say much when I should have been responding to a lot of other people's stuff, Star Wars Theory's refusal that Snoke wasn't really dead, Snoke was coming back, and this and that. People, they messed up Luke Skywalker, they ruined Luke Skywalker, and all I had to do was just sit here and explain, this is why Luke made the choices he made, this is why he acted the way he did, even though way before the movie I was like telling y'all, this is the Luke that we're getting. Now these last two are Luke and Leia. I'm just gonna say no to both of these. I mean, it said Leia apparently has the special ability to hear people call out through the Force. But what is Leia doing right now? Leia's trying to rebuild the New Republic, and she's raising Ben Solo. Right at this point, Ben Solo is 4 years old. She's not coming to take Grogu and train him. These two, Luke and Leia, I'm just gonna say they've got Darth Vader status, right? And what is Darth Vader stat? Darth Vader is protected. He's like somebody's baby. They're not going to just pull out Darth Vader. Oh, let's pull out Darth Vader, right? That's like a very special, that's like the high joker when you're playing spades, right? You only got one. You got how many cards? How many cards? You got like 13, 14 cards in a suit. You got 4 suits. You got the low joker and you got the high joker, right? The high joker gets played one time in a game of spades, and that's it, right? That's kind of how Darth Vader is. Like, he's not a number 5 or 5 clubs or diamonds or hearts or whatever. He's the high joker. And his kids, Luke and Leia, they have that same status. They're not just going to roll him out just all willy-nilly, just whenever, right? On top of that, they're busy doing stuff, right? Everybody, if Luke were to show up, if he were to show up, it would be a big fan service thing. And I feel like it would be a cameo. Luke is here. He's going to do something cool and then he's going to bounce, right? Maybe like they do with Ahsoka, possibly. Ahsoka has potential to come back, but I don't think Luke would. Luke is really out trying to trace the Jedi, and he's not going, and then on top of that, with Luke and Leia, this whole seeing stone thing, I said this, did I say it in yesterday's video or 2 videos ago? But I was like, think of this seeing stone thing as like a WhatsApp group text, right? We don't know how this works. And Ahsoka was raised and trained in the temple. And if I had to say think of anyone who would answer it, I would first think somebody, a surviving Jedi who was trained in the temple, who would know about Tython. Leia would be the last person that I would, out of everybody on this list who possible. Snoke, no. Snoke, not at all, because I don't even think Snoke has been created yet, right? This is where I was like, I don't think they really understand the First Order and the Sith Eternal and what the Sith cultists were doing and everything else, right? I think that Rey's father was probably cloned and created before Snoke, right? I mean, they have the advanced aging and everything else, right? I think that, we know, or at least I know, that Snoke was created to be a proxy for Palpatine. Snoke had his own, he thought independently. He didn't even know what he was, right? He basically was, they took what they did with, to General Grievous, and they stepped it up a level, right? General Grievous was trained in the Jedi arts. Snoke really had the Force, right? You know, it's like, well, what if we can make you a clone body that actually has the Force, right? It's not going to be what you want, but, you know, we can make you a clone body. Maybe they did it and they injected Snoke with, Palpatine's, blood, even though it apparently was a genetic strand cast that we believe came from Palpatine, right? And then, they, did what they did because they were like, well, Moff Gideon did these experiments and we know that it'll work, but it's not going to be what you want it to be, but it'll get the job done. Meaning the First Order that's out there, that was part of your plan that went wrong, where, all of these fleets were supposed to come to the unknown regions and meet on Exegol, but instead they went somewhere else and met with Grand Admiral Ray Sloan as she, left Jakku instead of, Gallius Rax, who was supposed to leave Jakku and lead the fleet to Exegol, which I believe were his orders, but even he wasn't going to follow him. He was like, I'm going to take the Empire, into, I'm going to lead them on Jakku, and I'm going to gather the fleet, and then I'm going to be the new emperor, is what he thought, because he didn't even know. Yuke Tashu was saying Palpatine's going to be resurrected, and he apparently already was resurrected, or had been. Maybe he was just talking ish to them to keep them guessing, in the dark of Palpatine's true plans. But Gallius Rax killed him, right? So, that's really that story of that. But this stuff, the First Order is, that's why I keep saying, like, Moff Gideon, I don't think he's part of, if I had to guess, he's part of Palpatine's game plan, but not connected to the First Order at all, other than, he probably knows they're out there because him being, an ISB agent and a person who has all this knowledge of everything, probably aware of the First Order, but there's a reason that he's not out there with them. And it's going to be a hot minute before we get those answers. But stuff like that's what I'm looking for. Moff Gideon is the villain, right? He's the one that set all of this into motion. I want to know what he's trying to do. All this other stuff, everybody's like majoring in minors. Who's the Jedi that's going to respond to Grogu? you know what? It doesn't matter because, okay, what if a Jedi shows up? You still got to deal with Moff Gideon and the Empire. Who is Moff Gideon working for? Is it just him, just as a Imperial warlord, and you know, that remnant of the Empire that he has in that sector of space? That's it, or is there more? Right? Is there something more? Is there, you know, the Sith Eternal Fleet that Palpatine has been he's been working on it. He's been working on that plan since before the Clone Wars started, right? So even when he was the Emperor, he was sending people out. That's what he needed Thrawn for. He needed Thrawn to help them navigate through the unknown regions to find Exegol. There's a whole reason that Thrawn, that he was like, yeah, man, Grand Admiral Thrawn, right? Mr. Anuradu. That's the whole reason he brought Thrawn into the game plan. And Thrawn managed to work his way up to Grand Admiral because he's fucking Thrawn, right? But this list, I don't know. What do y'all think about it? I just open it up to y'all. What do y'all think about this list? Because I'm not really feeling it. I'm not really digging it, right? So I don't know. I really don't have much else to say on that. You know, it was fun sitting here geeking out. You know, maybe I filled some of you in on stuff regarding Snoke and the First Order that maybe you didn't know, that I've just picked up from reading books and, you know, really paying attention, reading between the lines, you know, connecting some dots that from various sources, mostly just the extended versions of the movies, right? The Last Jedi, Snoke is talking about Palpatine as if he's someone else, and Snoke, you know, discovered Palpatine's contingency plan. Well, it's not, he didn't really discover it. It's because, you know, Palpatine wanted him to find it, right? He wanted him to be aware of the contingency plan, but Snoke is, and that threw me off because I'm looking at that like, oh, Snoke is talking about Palpatine, but then I kept saying, why is Snoke like trying to pretend to be Palpatine? I'm the new Palpatine, right? I'm better. I'm the better, more improved version. And it's like, oh no, you're actually like you're like the Wish version of Palpatine. You're the Wish version of Palpatine, dog. And matter of fact, he's telling you what to do. You just don't know that he is, right? You know. So it is what it is. But me, as far as this article, who's going to respond to the call? Quinlan Voss makes the most sense to me if it were somebody that would fit in to the world of the Mandalorian, meaning it's still going to be the BGZ and Double D show, Din Djarin. Right, it's still gonna be, you know, my buddy and me, my Grogu and me, and now he's got a Jedi that's like, this is Road Dogg too, that's riding shotgun. Quinlan Voss, like if he's getting a crew together, right? It's not just me and BGZ, but I got a crew, I got a new ship, right? Because Quinlan Voss has been a bounty hunter when he was undercover. He would fit in great with that story, but he'd be older. So it's like he wouldn't necessarily steal the show. He'd do some Jedi stuff. It'd be cool, but he's older, right? He's, you know, Quinlan Voss probably in his 40s. Well, I say he's probably in his 40s during the Clone Wars. So now he's like 60, pushing 70. Right, he's getting up there by this point in the story. But that would be cool. I mean, you know, like I said, I have a feeling that the call goes out, but no one answers it. Especially this season. Maybe they, you know, at the end we get a huge cliffhanger. A Jedi shows up after Grogu is rescued, but we got 4 seasons, right? This is season 2. I would say if it was 3 seasons long, that the show was planned to be 3 seasons, that this season would end on a big cliffhanger, and it'd be kind of sad, like they don't rescue Grogu and we think he's gonna die, and then they have to come back and deal with everything in season 3, right? But I really don't know what could happen. I don't have predictions for the finale. Moff Gideon is supposed to be a big part of season 3, so he's obviously not gonna die. But I imagine we're gonna see something. We're gonna see something from Moff Gideon that's gonna kind of make us see why he's who he is in the position that he's in, right? Where it's no doubts. Like we wrapped up season 1. It's, oh, well, he's got all his firepower. He's got, all these. He's got dark troopers and stormtroopers and everything. And then it's, oh snap, he's got the dark saber. And I think now we're gonna see, like, personally why he holds so much power. Like, power. So that's where I'm gonna end this, y'all. We've been to Bangkok. We're moving into the new place. We got this place all packed up, pretty much for the most part. What is tomorrow? Well, what time is it? It's almost midnight here. I don't know. I think we're going to finish packing tomorrow, and then I think we'll move on Thursday. I'm going to do my best to get videos out, but I don't know how long it's going to take to get internet access there. And then in between, because Geekdom is like, bro, you like getting momentum. You can't take your foot off the gas. I was like, I might have to just pull out the Oppo, right? That's my phone, a Korean phone. It's dope too. I might have to pull out the Oppo. What's up, Acolyte Squad? My name is Prince, and I'm an urban acolyte. Hey man, I'm posting from the mobile because we're on the move. We have no internet access, nothing. But this is what we're going to talk about. I'm gonna try to keep the video short, under 15 minutes if I can, and just upload and hope they don't dang it. I think I'm gonna be out of service soon. I'm gonna have to make sure I top up on AIS. Hey man, what y'all paying for y'all data plan in the US? My data plan is $7 a month over here, unlimited. But the trick is I can't make phone calls. So, Cousin Lucy, if you're watching at this point, matter of fact, Cousin Lucy, if you are watching, you're probably not watching at this point. But if you are, hey man, you tell DJ to download Line, right? And if you comment, because sometimes you comment on the videos, I'll put my Line ID or whatever it is, because then we can talk for free, because that's where nobody uses phones here. I know I got other family members. They're like, man, this dude done moved to Thailand, got married, ain't called nobody. I can't call the US, man. I can do it, but it's like I'd be able to talk for 5 minutes, and it was like $10 for a phone call. 5 minutes, oh, that's your time, and then I can't even use my data plan, right? So people use apps over here. They call everybody through apps. So Lucy, tell DJ to download an app called Line, 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 and then I'll tell y'all how to add me, or if he puts an account under his number, I will find him, because I just search his phone number that's in my phone. Cause I've been wanting to holler at, my cuz in Phoenix, Arizona. That's how DJ talks. only if Lucy and Baby Wade and Cousin De'Ara, if they see that, they'll think it's funny. The rest of y'all will be like, what the hell is he? This part of the video is not for the rest of y'all watching. It's just for my family members who watch my channel. So to all my haters and the fandom menace, y'all need to show some fucking respect in the comments when y'all talk shit, because I have family members who watch this and they don't appreciate y'all talking that nonsense. And you know, since I'm in Thailand, like the laws work differently here, so you definitely don't want to say something about me and get sued. I'm just saying. Freedom of speech. Freedom of speech only covers you in places where freedom of speech covers you, right? I'm an American citizen. If I want to say some things that I can't say in Thailand, I need to take my ass to America and say that stuff, and I won't be welcome back here. And I can't do that because I got a wife and a family here. So, you know, and besides, this isn't public space. This is YouTube. If I say something on here and YouTube is like, you know what, you can't monetize your video because you said that. Freedom of speech, freedom of speech. Freedom of speech doesn't cover, freedom of speech doesn't protect me from advertisers saying, yeah, we don't want to advertise next to that, right? That's what happened with Alex Jones and why his channel got pulled off of YouTube. Advertisers was like, yeah, we're not gonna pay for, we don't want our products associated with him. And we might just pull everything off your platform. So you decide, right? So y'all start screaming about freedom of speech, this and that, and why is this person getting demonetized? It's if you don't like it, then you know it's the people running the ads, and well, I'm just gonna boycott them. Well, you don't know who's running ads on what channel because the ads are really based on you, right? So if you don't like it, get off of YouTube. And let those of us who want to play by the rules and want to have a positive environment and experience enjoy it. And I know somebody will be, you're talking about being positive. You just said fucking this and that. Hey man, I'm just expressing myself. I can be a happy person and tell you to please kindly go fuck yourself and stop watching my videos and don't interact with me because you're messing up my Zen thing, man. And I just don't want that energy around me. So fuck off and be happy, right? So I'm gonna go F off and be happy now. So that's all I got for this one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Y'all keep on breathing, and may the force of others be with you always.